Hey everybody, what's going on? In this video we're going to be doing a Ghosts of Tsushima review and discussing if it's still worth playing in 2022. I know the game came out a while ago, but I honestly just thought it was another open world game, so I skipped it. Couldn't be further from the truth, so let's get into it. Ghosts of Tsushima is about a man named Jin. Jin is a samurai warrior on the island of Tsushima, which is being currently taken over by the Mongols. At the very beginning of the game, Jin and these other samurai counterparts make an epic last stand and lose a pivotal battle against the Mongols that kill all the samurai except for Jin and his uncle Lord Shimura, who was in command of the entire island before the Mongols arrived. After the epic battle takes place, Lord Shimura is taken captive by the Mongols to try to get him to surrender and become loyal to their regime. And this is kind of where the story really begins, because to take the island back, Jin begins fighting by any means necessary to rescue his uncle and his home. This means using methodologies that are forbidden by samurai, which creates a lot of tension between him and Lord Shimura later in the game. Now that's as much backstory as I'm going to give. I don't want to give too many details or spoilers away because it's really a great story and it makes you want to keep coming back for more. So let's get into the gameplay a little bit, starting off with it being an open world game. To be fully transparent, I personally am not a huge fan of open world games. I don't like them very much normally. I think they're usually just to-do lists, and it kind of bores me, I suppose. I know that not everyone is like that. Some people like to spend as much time as they can exploring the world that was crafted for them, and luckily for both of us, Ghost of Tsushima offers sort of a middle ground for people to choose how they want to play. I think it would be perfectly fine for someone to spend as much time as they wanted to exploring the absolutely gorgeous island that is Tsushima and completing as many side quests as possible. I think if a player wanted to do that, they would be satisfied by both the quantity and quality of the side missions and quests available. But on the flip side, if a player like me wanted to go through the entire game and just focus on the story because that was the main reason they were interested in the game, I think you could do that just as well without feeling like you're missing large chunks of what's being offered. I know there's a number of shrines and hot springs and mythic quests that offer really nice rewards for players. I'm just saying that the story in this game is good enough where it could be completely linear, and I think that's really nice. Jumping into the game's combat, there's no other way to put it other than it's sick. There are 5 enemy types: standard swordsmen, swordsmen with shields, enemies with spears, large-ass brutes, and archers. Jin can pick from different fighting stances that are more effective on specific enemy types. For instance, like the moon stance is more effective against the brutes, while the wind stand is most effective against spears. The one exception is with the archers. I never really noticed one stance being better or worse fighting against them. And with each of the stances there are combos you can unlock that are simple but complex enough to be able to master and pull off some really cool fighting sequences. There is a focus on dodging and parrying, which is really nice and adds a level of depth to the combat. I think it's extremely well done in this game. It is challenging at times to pull off like the perfect dodge or the perfect parry, but it's not so unforgiving where you feel like you're playing a Souls-like. The combat in this game is just truly incredible, it's satisfying, and I think Sucker Punch games really knocked it out of the park. The last thing I want to touch on is the graphics. So I played on the PS5, and I played the PS5 version of the director's cut of the game. I know the game initially came out for PS4, but I really can't tell. This is one of the most beautiful open world games that I've ever played. I think it looks better than the competition. For instance, like Spider-Man or Red Dead or even Elden Ring, I think this game looks better. I know that's a subjective opinion, and you may think differently. Please let me know if you think a different game looks better. I'd be interested to see which game that is. But overall, I absolutely think Ghost of Tsushima is worth playing in 2022 if you have not done so. It has a fantastic story combined with amazing combat and the option to explore an absolutely stunning open world Tsushima. Let me know in the comments if you've played Ghost of Tsushima or are planning to do so. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game. Have a good one.